Hey ho, welcome. Welcome to my tube. I'm Standing Turtle, Heyoka, Empath. Been an empath my whole life and getting wore out. My nerves are getting short. I meditate a lot. I do a lot of stuff to keep my life force energy in an unpercolated state. I always like to keep my simmer down now, because I get frustrated when things aren't fair. And I was awake. I was waking up slow. Just my spirit was anchoring into my soul sack as I wake up, and I was loving on the dogs, and I hear beep 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 beep, and it was like 7:26 in the morning, a backup noise, and it wouldn't stop. And I was laying there and I was like, it'll stop, and it kept going and it kept going long enough for me to lay there for a while and finally get up to go outside and be like, do I need to fucking park the fucking truck for you? 7 o'clock! The man that parked in the most narrow part of the street announces. That's showtime, 7 o'clock! We can start working! People across the street are getting a new roof, so I don't get to hang out in the backyard today because it'll just be noise. Noise. The man walked at me. He tried to intimidate me. People don't think I know. That's the thing is the egomaniacs, they like to poke the bear, and then you get mad and then you react. And then I learned that from a long time ago. I have a brother, he's an antagonist. Total narcissist. Gets it from our dad. Yeah. So I know what it's like. They used to just he would hold me down and pull on my toes, and then I would get mad and react, and then I would get in trouble for hitting my brother. It's that shit. It's all that stuff. It's all that stuff that how people act when they're children, and then they grow up and they act the same way because they just have always gotten their way. They never had to sacrifice anything. They never had to go through anything. They never had anything particularly bad happen to them that they remember, because they just shut it out, because they just keep living life and creating a glass house for themselves to protect them, to make them secure. Well, guess what? There's karma related to that. You treat people bad, you do shit to kids, you do shit to animals, you fuck with people because you can, and there's hell to pay, see? And for the next few months, we're going to see the hell where the people that are really going through it, it's your karma. I've been going through it for 3 years. I've been cleaning up my karma. For 3 years, I've been staying within, quarantined, because I'm my mom's only primary caregiver. How many other people in the world are like me? We don't got nobody to help us with anything. With anything. Nothing. Every day is the same fucking day, over and over. And people just watch and go, man, that must be really tough. You're really strong. But really, they have no real mental concept as to what strength is. And that's why people are freaking killing themselves. That's why people are making bad decisions. They're just living in their self-will, and then bad things happen. They fall. I've been talking about this shit for 3 years, since the Great American Eclipse, because I'm an esoteric freaking data collector. I listen to all of the astrology, a lot of them, whether I like them or not. Western and Vedic too, and it puts us together that in conjunction with people's psychology, puts together a very clear picture of which way this world can go. And people they're like, oh, it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be so beautiful. I'm starting to get an idea that people are just going to let their egos keep running, self-will run riot. Because I'm not really getting a whole lot of people coming into their spirit. I'm not. Here and there, but I mean, it's always been like that. There's always a helper in every situation, but why does there have to be a helper? Why can't the whole entire system work to benefit everybody, not just the cream of the shit on top? Cream of the crap is what I like to call it. It's so nice that there's so many more millionaires and billionaires on the planet. It's so nice that the rich keep getting richer. It's so wonderful that the Catholic Church just got $1.2 trillion when they don't pay taxes anyway. It's so nice that all these energies are just getting inflated because of who and what they are and what they represent and all the goodness they hold. Who the fuck sells a $100,000 pillow? Wayfair. Is it Wayfair? No, that's not Wayfair. That's way unfair. All the shit that people have got to make we already know that there is enough abundance on this planet for everyone, but what people are figuring out that there's this very small percentage of the population that doesn't want to share, that has this mentality that, and they never work for nothing. So they're like, you know, and the thing is, if you want to know the things that I've worked for in life, I got over 1,000 videos that talk about all the things. I keep putting my ideas out there. You can have them. If you like an idea of mine and you want to make it happen and put it into fruition, take it. Just PayPal my fucking cut is all. Just give credit where credit's due. I see things that I've talked about for years and years coming, and people make a lot of money. I came up with condiments in plastic bottles when I was like 3. I never understood why they were in glass. Oh, it's so the glass makers can make money. Because ain't nobody care about plastic today. One-use plastic. You know? I mean, nothing's changing. People are just up in arms about more stuff, but the stuff that they're up in arms about are just continuing to do their low vibration. Oh, but it's all going on behind the scenes. Well, if it's all going on behind the scenes, then where's the truth in that? Because truth is out. Truth is spoken outward. Truth is revealed. So things behind the scenes aren't truth. So I'm ready for the truth, and I'm pretty sure a whole lot of other people are ready for the truth. Why do they keep painting lines on the streets every few weeks? Why is the billing cycle every 21 days and I don't got water? You know, I'm trying to pay. You know how hard it is to pay down a $1,300 water bill? I pay $150 here, $150 whenever, you know, when I got a little extra, so I put it on there. But every 21 days, so there's 52 weeks in a year. So 52 divided by 4, I'm bad at math because my mind, the way it works, 52 weeks in a year. But their pay scale is every 21 days, so they're getting extra pay, right? So they don't take they don't take their cut, you know. People that, I wrote that down on a piece of paper yesterday, is that they're not, the bureaucrats have sucked our souls, our resources, our time away from our families, our abilities to provide a better life for our families, because they want their cut. And what they did is, if you go look to all the city and local government pages and you look at the job sites, look how much they pay themselves. See, their pay scale has gone up, because when I was growing up, when I was a little girl, those poor state and city employees, man, they worked so hard, they never got paid nothing. But then when I got older, I'm like, you get paid plenty because you have so much abundance that you are grossly obese. Yeah, so they get paid plenty, right? But what they didn't do is they didn't take the money and do with what they said they did. They're just inflating their own egos, buying office furniture for their own offices, taking care of their own team as long as you act like them. And then they do this like eval system, and it's just all this reindeer game. But nothing ever gets fixed. Nothing ever gets fixed. Are people starting to see that it's a circle of greed? There is no left or right. There is no blue, red, except for in polarity, negative, positive. That's the only time I see blue, red. The government isn't created to help anybody. It's only to create a hindrance and make themselves richer. Wars are never made to help anybody. We are not that America is not that great. We have into our goodness. We are not that wonderful that we go over to impoverished countries and help them. No. Talk to your veterans. I have post-traumatic stress. I didn't even know what post-traumatic stress was until I was 36 years old. See, because I had it long before I went into the Air Force. And then I went into the Air Force, and then that just added to it. See? And I do the best that I can, but I get really annoyed with when people are inconsiderate. And I live in a city, I live in Salem, so I live in a capital city, and fucking everybody's inconsiderate because they're just trying to live their life and make money. and all that shit. And I want nothing to do with it. That's why I'm telling the whole world I'm going to go live on a mountain, because society isn't worth being a part of, because people are so egotistical and they're so fucking rude and they're so self-loathing that I can't be in a densely populated area and feel the hatred of everyone, because I'm going to start hating myself, and I don't want to hate myself. I did that for years. I did the work. I did all the spiritual work. I got over all my hurts. I through all my pains. I sucked it up. I did my time. It cost me 1.5 inches of my height because I worked so hard, you know? And then people, you know, and who am I supposed to ask for help? Who? You can't get a hold of anybody. You can't. And then when I go down there and if I get snarky, then someone just said, you have a bad attitude, and then they shut off because they feel like it. And anytime I come up with anybody that is insecure about themselves, I never win, because they always pull the power play, like I got with the fucking assholes across the street this morning. I had the woman freaking go away, like I'm a threat, like I'm gonna start swinging or something. I'm like, dude, I'm a peaceful being. Who's this fucking idiot? You know, and this guy's like, coming at me, and I'm like, sorry for your wife, dude. Sorry for your wife. And he was like starting to get pissed and walk at me, and freaking, he was the one that was starting to be the antagonist. And I'm like, what do you represent? Why are you here? Are all of these documented immigrants legal here? Are you running an upfront? You know, it's just these guys, and they crowd in. Because this is what they do. I've seen it. They just got a new roof. Everybody gets a new roof around here, and it's all a racket. It's all a racket. You know, I told a lady across the street, I said, yeah, when the roof caught on fire last year, I'm the one that called the fire department, because I saw that it was catching on fire. Now, considering what I'm dealing with, I wish I would have kept my mouth closed. But that's what you get when you live in when you live in pockets of communities that people matter more than money. And you know what I did call the fire department, because that's bad karma. I'm not gonna, and there are people in the house, and I'm not gonna let freaking somebody perish. That's freaking evil. That's twisted and sick, and there's too many other people that act like that, and I ain't gonna be one of them. And the woman, and you know what they did? They kicked the old lady out that lived there, because the people that lived there, there was like a roommate situation, and the person that owned the house had died and didn't change the will, so they kicked everybody out, and the family came in and took it. Yeah, so that's what, you know, and I don't want to know people that kick people out. You know, it's bad karma. And so you just live in, I mean, what are people like me supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go? What? No, really, if somebody could tell me where we're supposed to fucking fit in, because all we want to do is create shit to make the world a better place, and all I'm faced every fucking day with just dissidents. I can't even go out and ground in the backyard, because right across the street where I lay, there's fucking men on the roof that can see me. And so I just keep doing these talks, and I'm like, tell people to meditate, get into your spirit, shut all that shit out. But there's so much shit at what point that it's like, when did life turn into just fucking shutting everything out? When did that? Why do I gotta shut everything out? Why can't I live peacefully too? Other people do. If I had direct deposit $2,000 in my checking account every month, nobody would ever hear from me. I would never bother anybody ever again. So if I'm really such that drain on a society, maybe society will, and the universe will make that happen for me. Hush money. You know? I know, I don't even freaking... You try and live right, you do. I lived wrong for a long time. I did. And it wasn't even that bad. It was just, you know, me living for myself and not for other people. I'm not living in that JC high vibrational frequency of service for all, community, everybody. There's enough for everybody. And I'm struggling to not hate. I'm really struggling to not hate the people that squander and keep everything for themselves, when there's a lot of good ideas. You can't like all these non-profits, they're all shit. They're all shit. Hey, can I get in on some of that? These are some of my ideas. Can I get on? Here's some of my ideas. I'll throw some of my ideas out there, and if anybody wants to use them, you can. You want T-shirts? You want T-shirts? How about this? I nama your stay. Because I'm a freaking namaste makes my third eye twitch. So I kind of like I nama your stay. INAMAYOURSTE. I nama your stay. That'd be kind of cool. How about this one? Straight people like rainbows too. That one's pretty good. How about I bully bullies? That one's pretty good. You want ideas? I got plans that I make dog ottomans, dog furniture that fits into your lifestyle too. So you can put I make the dog frames, and then you can go down to any pet store and tell me what size dog bed you had, and I'll make it to that. And then, round, square, whatever. And then you can put your own dog bed in the furniture and put your feet up on the furniture, do whatever. You can put glass over it, make a table, and then when company's here, you can play cards, take the glass off, and then have your dog bed there, Or you could have the glass table, have the dog bed underneath. I got nothing but ideas. I went to school for business information systems. I was going to go into robotics, but the freaking idea of hanging out with the egos that just are into robotics was enough to detour me. See, I won't participate in life because of the freaking arrogance and the characteristics of the people involved in these things. I will. Just not. So I went into tech support because I've always been support. I've always just helped people, and I just always know the ins, and I figure stuff out. Operating systems, and it doesn't matter. Freaking car engines, freaking bike, it doesn't matter. Some people have the mind to create solutions, while most people have the mindset to create problems. And when there's such a great divide between the number of those people, mostly people just want to be left alone and do what they don't really want to I don't want to be in the mix. I don't want to be in mainstream. I am never going to be mainstream. I'm Heyoka. I'm contrarian. Everything the mainstream does my fucking third eye twitches. So anything the mainstream believes in, I think it's horse shit. That means all sports, pro sports, college included. That's a professional. Colleges, the whole education system, it's all a fucking farce. You pay people to say what you want them to say. You put them in a bind and put them in a position, and then that is how narratives are created. The media, it's all reindeer games. Politics, it's all reindeer economics, reindeer games. Made up paradigms. And when things are, remember when you were a kid? Did you play outside when you were a kid and you hung out with a fucking person that you played with, and it was cool, but they always changed the rules to fit and contort so that they would be at advantage? Yeah, my brother is one of those. So people, I'm speaking from experience. And like attracts like. That's why they hire like. That's why I can't get a job in freaking anymore because I call out bullshit. And when all these paradigms do nothing but bullshit, they don't want a freaking me in there because they don't want to make things right. They don't want to make things better. They just want to keep paying themselves to say that they care. But the empath is growing. The empathy is growing in the spirit. People are coming into their spirit. And so when people come into their spirit, what you find out is you're going to have more fools like me that are bad with men because whatever I get, I'm talking about like from universe, like from a job or from contributions to the channel. I keep 49% for me. I give away 51% to other people like me that are that are smart, in a hard bind, and are just trying to make a better way for themselves. You know, I've seen people, it's weird. People have never, my brother's like, yeah, Marge, people have never really helped you out a lot. You know, people have never really helped you out a lot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you by not helping you. That's what I have been faced with my whole entire life. So I set myself up. I put myself in positions. I barely got by. I barely graduated high school. 2.2, barely. But I got a 96 on my ASVAB. You know what cops get on their ASVABs? 37. You know what the lowest test score that you need to get into the military or Air Force? 36. Cops get a 37. Go look at that. I don't want them to do. I want them to cut their pay and make them meditate, and maybe put them in polo shirts and shorts instead of all that fucking riot gear that they get. Especially, they're out of control, man. They're out of control. Fearful people create things to be afraid of. You draw the vibration of what you are. So when you and then you got all these made up military conflicts. So they sent them over there like they did, and I saw them when they came back from Greece. I was at Crete, Operation Iraqi. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. I had no reason to be there. Just like we had no reason to be in Vietnam. You know. At least there aren't world wars. At least people are wising up to the fact that that they're keeping them segregated and they're not bringing all these people into it. Well, there is a war. There is a war going on. There's a spiritual war going on right now in the heavens. People's consciousnesses are like, oh my God, I've lived like this my whole life and I can't. I just feel awful. Or they're like, or they're going the other way. The people that I'm tired of doing the right thing. Maybe there's that story. Not me. I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying that for other people that have always tried to live right, and it just doesn't get them any advantage. So then they go to the dark side. They go over to the side that the self-will run riot. They go over and make that $90,000 a year and work at those companies where you're recording the CIA and stuff for quality assurance and do all that and go around all your football games and travel all around to Europe and do all that stuff. Because you deserve it. You work so hard. Get that abundance. And then people feel bad because they are not living with their spirit. So they eat their feelings. They get all unhealthy. And then they drink. And then they go buy themselves Teslas and Range Rovers and Audis. Because don't you know they work so hard. But all that shit's tangible. All of it. All of it's tangible. You can't take that shit with you. What you do in this life, all you get to take with you in your next incarnation is the karma that you created, or the dharma, or whatever religion you look at. I look at all of them. They all got like stuff to offer, but then you get the fanatic that freaking makes it, the control freak that makes it his way. And that's when you lose me. That's why I will never align myself with any organization, any religion, I'll affiliate myself with, I'll work with people, but not when I will never work with I will never do anything for Subway. There are companies and organizations that I'm like, you pay me all the money in the world, I ain't gonna freaking endorse you because you for the dark. Plain and simple as that. That's what it comes down to. Are you for dark things or are you for spiritual things? You scared about stuff? That ain't spiritual. You worried about stuff? It ain't spiritual. That's all that's all keeping the earth on the 3D plane. That's all that does. It doesn't do anybody any good. I got some more ideas. I got all kinds of ideas about how, communal living with folks on the spectrum that are high on the spectrum and senior citizens that have memory deficits and things like that to cohabitate. Instead of paying these organizations and these institutions that absorb $4,000 or $5,000 a month for no, there's so many veterans out there. Veterans. You can get a loan. I can't get a loan because my last house went upside down. But if you're a veteran, you ain't never bought a house, you can buy a house with like $500 down. And if anybody wants to buy a house with me, I'll put up the $500 down. You want to roommate with me and Mom? We have a couple conversations, work it out. I'm not even kidding, man. I am seriously trying to change my life and get out of the situation that I'm in. I am trying to make connections with people so I can freaking collaborate with them to get in a better standing. I've been trying for 3 years. I don't want to stop trying, because that's when people lose their will. That ain't me, man. That ain't me. So if you're having a hard time right now, live every day as it comes. Every day only. Don't get so far in the future or get stuck in the past that it makes you sad and it keeps you in that low vibrational frequency. You're prone to alcohol. Do not drink right now. Do not drink right now. If you have a problem and you can't not drink right now, reach out to me. I've been in recovery for freaking 15, 17. I've been recovering my whole life, but from alcohol and drugs, I know a lot about that too. Don't reach out to people that you know are going to break your heart. Don't do it to yourself. I did it for years, and now I don't reach out to any person I know and say, hey, can you help me? Because every person I know at this point has said no. So am I supposed to quit asking? No, I keep trying to find my own way. And that's what I encourage other people to do. You have gifts inside of you that people have always told you were shit, or were stupid, or weren't good, or that will never work. People have been told that. I've been told that shit my whole life. I just never believed them. And I achieved great things. And I will achieve great things again. I just always adapted to every situation I was in. I never tried to make the situation comfortable for me, because that wasn't right for everybody else around me. Now I'm starting to change my thinking that I'm going to make life comfortable for me and the world great for me. And if people want to be a part of that, they're welcome to it. And if they don't, be well, my friend. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.